ordinary, but in the right hands, this wristband can do incredible things. It can inspire kids to go farther in school and in life, construct a playground for kids who've never had one, or help children with illnesses experience the ultimate race weekend. But the most amazing thing about wearing this wristband is showing your support for kids in need. Get yours at NASCAR.com/unites and learn how you can help us reach our goal of 1 million volunteer hours.
The storms and the tornadoes that devastated much of the Midwest, the South, especially Alabama, affected a lot of our friends and families.
There's many ways all of us can help.
We know they're in our thoughts, but it's time for us to take some action.
Won't you please rally to donate money and supplies to those that need it the most?
To unite and help those affected by the recent disasters, go to NASCAR.com/unites.
Let's unite together and make a greater difference.
Well, of course, racing here at Richmond is all about fun, but there was a very serious incident around the Southeast over the past week. Many people lost their lives due to tornadoes in one of the deadliest days in weather history we've seen in America. And no community responds like the NASCAR community when there are people in need. President Mike Helton is with us now. And Mike, as part of your new initiative that just happened to time out just right, you guys were on this initiative with the blue wristbands, but it just happens to come at the right time when there's some people in need.
That was circumstantial, and it did give us an opportunity to actually put this effort into gear quicker, and it shows that it works a little bit. But the announcements we made this week about NASCAR Unites is pushing the topic of volunteering as much as donating, because all of us get asked to donate money, and we should be. We should be donating money because that's what it takes in most cases. But there's another way to contribute, and our industry is really good at doing that, and that's volunteering. And the other thing we announced, the third pillar, was the Betty Jean France Humanitarian Award, because there are so many great stories in our industry about people helping people. And we hope that this program of having fans tell us about people they know that are helping people in the racing communities all across this country highlight a lot of those stories, because they're phenomenal. And we're proud of not just the patriotism that's in this industry, but we're also very proud of all the benevolency. And Kyle and all of you have done so many things for so many people, and we'd really like for that story to be told. The timing of the storms that hit the Midwest, particularly the Southeast, particularly Alabama, gave us the opportunity to rally around, or ask this industry to rally around those communities, because they got really close to Talladega, to Atlanta, to Bristol. The Ed Clark in Atlanta, Jerry Caldwell in Bristol, Grant Lynch in Alabama are all rallying as we speak to figure out how to help out their communities get back on their feet, and that's what a lot of this is about.
Yeah, you know, and I've always said this. I grew up in Level Cross, North Carolina, but my community was Talladega, Alabama, Bristol, Tennessee, Martinsville, Virginia, Darlington, South Carolina, because that's where I spent weekends at the racetrack. How important, as the growth of NASCAR, as we've grown, and each driver, all these individual drivers have started their foundation, how important is the NASCAR Foundation to the total umbrella of what NASCAR is right now?
And what we try to do, Betty Jean France was very sincere about the fact that she wanted NASCAR's foundation to be a nucleus, a catalyst, a source point for everybody else's, because there are so many different benevolent operations inside this industry, inside the garage area, at racetracks across this country, and we don't want to compete with those. We want to complement those. We want to help them advance their efforts, and this is at the heart of the NASCAR Foundation.
Mike, I really like how this wristband is packaged. Just simply, I know we're going to talk about it for weeks to come. How do we get one of these?
Well, the NASCAR Day, which is traditional, is still May the 20th, but the band is an effort around promoting the attitude of volunteerism through NASCAR Unites. And you can go to NASCAR.com. They're at the racetracks. They're at a lot of different outlets that you can get this band and wear it proudly. Buy several of them and give them to your friends and your family. But in the meantime, also another key address is NASCAR Foundation, or NASCAR.com Unites, that's where people can go across the country and find out efforts that are going on in areas that you can volunteer for and to help. And that's key too, is we're collecting as many of the efforts as we can for things that Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or Abingdon, Virginia, or Sunnyside, Georgia might need that our community can help.
I'm sitting right now with Rusty Wallace. And gentlemen, start your engines, because this is going to be key. Because right now, it is NASCAR Day all across America. And car washes are being held across this country to raise money for kids. Our next guest started early this morning. NASCAR champ Rusty Wallace is here. Rusty, you don't even look wet. How do you wash cars without even looking wet?
I stayed out of the line of fire from these kids.
And you let the kids do it.
Yeah, they're having a great time out there. It's all for charity. They're showing us how to wash these cars, having a lot of fun this morning.
I couldn't believe this number. You know, since this started, NASCAR 2004, you raised $8 million. How do kids get into the action in 40 separate cities?
Well, this particular time this year, we decided to bring back the old school kids car washes. There are going to be 40 locations across the U.S., a lot of racetracks,
right.
California Speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Iowa Speedway, just to name a few. And so we're hoping to raise $1 million on NASCAR Day, get 1 million hours of volunteerism for NASCAR.com and its new slogan, NASCAR Unites. So big incentive on May the 20th, this Friday, and the kids car wash is all part of it.
All right, and these kids have been hand-selected. Now, you've interviewed all of them to find out what their car washing ability is. What sold you on this guy? How you doing? What's your name?
Gino.
Gino, turn around a second. Gino, what's it like washing the car that Rusty Wallace brought over with him? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your experience washing cars?
What?
Okay, I'll take that as you didn't interview him and pre-interview him well.
He rubs really hard. He's doing a good job. He's got all the black marks off this car. This is Greg Biffle's car, by the way, a NASCAR Cup driver.
Right.
And sponsored by 3M, but they're giving us all this product to use. Pretty good.
Hey, Rusty, we got a big race this weekend, right?
Big race this weekend. The All-Star race Saturday night at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and the big race on Sunday in Iowa Speedway. That's two big races this weekend, and it's all doing a lot of cool things for the NASCAR Foundation or NASCAR Day.
You're one of the great personalities when you were racing and now out of racing. Have you gotten over the fact that you're not racing anymore?
That's a good question. I haven't got over that fact yet. People ask me every day, man, do you miss driving? And I do. I just can't get it out of me. I mean, every time I see those guys go around the track, I'm like, get out of here. Let me get in here. I'll show you how it's done. But I know I still can't do it.
And, of course, you can drive the streets. Does that kind of your fix? You can go like a pedestrian like all of us.
I don't know if you've been here a long time, folks that haven't been to New York, but I got here last night and you guys dug the roads up. There's no pavement out there.
We don't go with pavement. People end up going too fast.
It's rocks and wrecks.
Hey, kids, good job. Thanks for coming down. It's all part of NASCAR Day. You're going to raise $1 million in 40 separate cities. Go to NASCAR.com and find out more.
The NASCAR family has always been active in their communities, and here in Daytona, NASCAR's first family has always led the way. They have a special relationship with Habitat for Humanity, and this past week, it was ladies first as they rolled up their sleeves to pitch in. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Thanks, John. In honor of Betty Jane France's passion for charity and community service, the NASCAR Foundation started a program this year that will generate opportunities to volunteer over 1 million hours of community service in 2011. Yesterday, Betty Jane's daughter, Lisa France Kennedy, and I took to some power tools to build a Habitat home in the Daytona area. So first off, Lisa, we're here not far from the Speedway in Daytona Beach at this Habitat home. Tell us about Daytona and NASCAR's involvement with this build.
Well, Daytona International Speedway is sponsoring the home, and there are a lot of community partners that are involved, a lot of women's groups, as well as the NASCAR Foundation.
Today we have some of NASCAR and Daytona's executives here, all women volunteering on the build. Pretty cool.
Absolutely, and this really gives women a chance to participate on the construction site. So it was a concept that Habitat for Humanity had called Women Build. And, you know, we've always donated and we've always supported it in different ways, but now we get a chance to be hands-on.
And this is a chance really for Daytona and for NASCAR to give back to the local community right here in Daytona Beach.
Absolutely. It's so important to us. It's one of our missions as a corporation to be involved in the community. I can't think of a better way.
Coming up, the NASCAR has decided the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award. It's a really cool concept, a way to give back to different charities and to the NASCAR fans. Tell us about it.
Well, first of all, the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award was developed by my mother, a concept, and it's going to be, the fans will be able to vote on NASCAR.com, and the winner gets $100,000 to their favorite charity. And the top three, or I should say the three finalists below that, would get a chance for $25,000 to their charity, as well as go to an event and the championship.
And
so, NASCAR.com.
And the cool part about the Humanitarian Award is NASCAR fans giving back to charitable efforts with NASCAR backing them up. So not only did this charity win, but they get something as well with the Ford Explorer.
Absolutely. Everybody really wins in this. The NASCAR industry does. We have a chance to give back, and the fans do. So it'll be someone who has a passion for NASCAR, but they've given back in their own way to a charity, and especially to a children's charity.
And to recognize the efforts, the volunteer efforts of many of the NASCAR fans, this first ever Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award will be awarded in December, but nominations can still be coming in on NASCAR.com/unites. You have until July 18th. You can nominate a NASCAR fan you think is worthy, that does charity work, and that will be useful for the $100,000 for their favorite children's charity of choice. Definitely a good effort that NASCAR, Daytona, Betty Jane France, and the whole France family is doing to give back to NASCAR fans.
This is Tony Stewart. I'm a two-time NASCAR champion, but the true champions are those who donate their time in their local communities across the country to help kids live happier, healthier lives. The NASCAR Foundation will recognize these NASCAR fans and their efforts through the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award. The winner receives a $100,000 donation to their favorite children's charity. So look beyond the racetrack for the champions among us. Nominate someone today for the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award at NASCAR.com/unites.
When a child becomes seriously ill, it's a life-changing experience. Fear of the unknown replaces the joy, smiles, and daily rhythm of a healthy life. It can be tough for even the strongest children and their families to bear. But Speediatrics is helping these special kids to a speedy recovery through a unique combination of caring, commitment, and kindness, all with a NASCAR theme. The NASCAR Foundation chairperson and Speediatrics founder Betty Jane France envisioned a place where kids are not intimidated by the overwhelming experience of being in a hospital. The environment created by the Speediatrics unit at Halifax Health Medical Center in Daytona Beach and Homestead Hospital in Homestead provide a much-needed diversion to young patients undergoing intensive treatments. A colorful design emulates the thrills of auto racing to help ease hospital stays for young people and their families. Speediatrics characters, race cars, and checkered flags complete the motorsports theme. Patients at Speediatrics receive advanced medical treatment from highly experienced doctors and nurses who specialize in pediatric intensive care. Together, these units care for more than 19,000 children each year. But this unique place is more than just a hospital. Speediatrics brings light to these difficult days by healing young hearts and souls. Hope and hugs start immediately for new patients when they receive a toy bear from the NASCAR Foundation, giving them a special friend for their stay. Patients also make new friends throughout their stay, as legendary drivers and racing personalities often stop by to visit. As a program of the NASCAR Foundation, the mission of Speediatrics is to create a healing environment where kids always come first. Log on to www.speediatrics.org to learn how you can help kids live happier, healthier lives. Because every child deserves a champion.